Good morning and welcome to Grounded. I have the day off today and I need to get this garden ready for seeds. I'd like to be able to plant seeds by tonight. So in case you're new here or in case this is the first time you've been seeing the expansion to the garden, our garden got it used to be, okay, let me show you. This is our original garden. The fence used to be right here. And then we added 50 feet to it. So there's 6 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. I have most of the garden plan done, and I'll show you it on the screen right now. This is a plan of the old garden and the new garden and what I hope to accomplish by the end of today. We have plans to leave the province tomorrow morning, and next weekend is our big graduation party for our daughter, so this has to happen today. The experience we have with our other garden that we've had for almost 9 years, we know that if you don't cover up the soil, Mother Nature will, meaning she's going to put whatever she wants to grow there. And in our case, because we are surrounded by hay fields, it is grass and weeds, and anything that you're going to find in a hay field is going to grow in this garden if we don't cover it up. Now, ironically, and there's a whole bunch of debate about this, we are planning on putting straw on top of this entire garden. There's a lot of debate on whether or not that creates more grass coming up in your garden, and maybe plantain and a whole bunch of other things that can grow out of straw. The straw is supposed to be sterile, but in the past, I mean, when we first started our garden, we put straw in the beds as like a mulch, because that's what Jess from Roots and Refuge did. So we did that too, and we found that that was fine. So these were the tire tracks from the tractor that came in here and tilled the garden. So when you look at them, you can see how narrow that row is compared to, or that aisle is compared to that aisle. So I need to widen all of these aisles. So this is the row I widened. I took about 8 inches off of the row beside it to be able to do this. See how wet it is? Just sticks to the rake so bad. So that when we want to use a wheelbarrow, or it's very hard to walk in this narrow aisle, so we're just going to widen it there. You see these bags of cow manure here? This is cow manure with peat moss. These bags were $4 a piece, and we got 30 of them so far. Bill is picking up 30 more again tonight. So this is to amend the existing soil. The native soil here is very, very clay. So I need to amend that before I put any seeds in there. And then let's go over to where I have the straw, and I'll show you what that looks like. Look at that. So we were able to fit 12 square bales in the truck. Holy shit. Okay. That took me about 4 minutes. Whew. Okay. I just moved all those bags because the place where there's bags, we're not going to put any straw just yet. These rows need to have some nice soil so that the seeds can germinate nicely. Now, on the other side, row 4, 5, and 6, we're going to put straw on those because those are mostly going to be for gourds. But I'm going to take a break and talk about this right here. That is a rock. And typically what you'll see, especially in fields like this where it used to be a farmer's field, you'll see rocks coming up from down below. I'm really surprised at how few rocks are actually in this garden. I have gone around and collected some of them, and I put them in this wheelbarrow right here. Inevitably, they are going to come up over the years. They're going to come up from below, and we'll deal with that as we go. But I'm pretty happy with this so far. Look at this. A peg from the tarp. There's 2 done. That is so much work. That soil is pure clay. So it's really wet too. So it's not easy to move like if it was dry. So, and also the cow manure that we're putting on the gardens is also wet. So I hope this works out. I'm not going to focus on that. I'm going to focus on getting these bales of straw onto those 3 last beds, 4, 5, and 6. And then when Bill comes with the rest of the compost, we can just put the compost in where I made the hole and then plant the seed right there by tonight. So this is the plan we're talking about here. Row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We put a tarp on the straw last night. It might have supposed to be raining right now, maybe. I think that's what Bill said. So we put a tarp on it last night. It's not raining, so I'm gonna pull it off. And I'm gonna try my very best, if it fits and I can handle it, I'm gonna try to put 2 bales of straw in 1 wheelbarrow. Let's see if this works. See how far we get? Oh, it's light as a feather. Oh, hey. How was that? Oh, I should go get a knife. It's gonna be very rough for now, and then I'll come back and smooth it out a bit. Break it up. The baler twine is here, and then when you open it up, you're gonna get these kind of pieces that fall apart. And this is what I'm taking, and I'm trying to separate it in 2. And then I'm putting 1 there and 1 there. And you just kind of break apart that clump. See that? Compared to this, that's still a piece. I was just coming over here to get restarted, and there was a little bird captured in our cover that we use for our bed, but she got out right away, so no big deal. But I took a little break. I went back and looked at the plan. I kind of redrew a couple things, and I moved a couple things around, and now I have to put straw where we're going to put some squash on row 3. So I'm going to do that right now. Okay, so I just jumped the gun a little bit here, but I needed to something. Did anybody ever have that where they kind of need to check a box or like cross something off the list quick in order to feel like you got something done? So that's what I just did here. I emptied 8 bags of cow manure onto this row here that is gonna get some yellow pole beans. I'm gonna mix the cow manure in with the native soil. Still not gonna be the best probably, but it's gonna be good enough for now. I'm gonna plant the beans, and then once the beans sprout, I think we'll cover that row with some of this loose straw over top of that, but that's probably weeks away now. I have the beans soaking in the grow room right now, and I have the corn, which is going in the back row. I have that corn sprouting by the window, and I looked at it this morning and there's little tiny sprouts on it. So I'm going to be planting corn in the back row and beans in this row here. And then everywhere where there's straw, that's where there's going to be squash, pumpkins. We're not going to do gourds this year. We usually do gourds, but Bill thinks that they take up a little bit too much space, and he's right, they do, for not much, for no harvest. They're just, I like them because they're beautiful. They have beautiful white flowers that come out at night. This is looking really good. I just like kind of sat back with my iced coffee and looked at it for a second, and wow, we've done row 6, 5, 4, and 3 are done. And so we only have row 2 and 1 to do, which is so exciting. I think it helped me kind of figure out what I needed done once I gave the row a number. So I don't know if that's a tip or not, but it worked for me. Right now I'm working on this row and this row. I have to put compost over this row and this row. So that first row over there is all straw, and that's going to be pumpkins. The next row is the overflow from the pumpkins, because they will crawl up the fence, but they will also crawl out. The next row here is for squash. The one that I just added the cow manure to is going to be for yellow pole beans. And then this right here is going to be for cantaloupe. I like the size of that row right there. So I think I'm going to keep them coming at a little bit of a curve here at the bottom. And I'll make this right here into just flowers. I had to come back to the plan here for a second. I was starting to get really confused. But what we have here on this plan, for the back row, we're going to do corn here. And I have, oh goodness, it's a woman's name. Raquel corn. It says to plant that every 10 to 12 inches. So I'll be doing that in the back row once I get the compost on there. And then pumpkins up the aisle on the outside. We're gonna do pumpkins, and then row 5 is where the pumpkins are going to have a chance to come over because they're climbing. So they're vining and they're climbing. So they'll climb up the fence on the outside, and hopefully the little runners will come into row 5. I'm going to put a tarp over that. Row 4, that is all for squash and cantaloupe. Row 3 is going to be black turtle beans, black turtle bush beans, and buttercup squash. Row 2 is going to be 2 fruit trees that we have to still pick up and buy. And then almost a full row of calendula. Calendula helps with keeping the pests away from the other plants. It's a host plant to the predator of the aphids. What a day so far. I can't believe I got so much done, and it's not even noon. I'm going to work on the back row for the corn. Right now I have to snag another bag. I'm going to take that bag and put it in the back row and get working on the back row. Tell you one thing, I am so happy it is cool out here today. It is probably like maybe 11 degrees, maybe 12 degrees. And there's a little slight wind, which is really nice for working in. I'm just having a moment here. I'm considering what to do with this full aisle of calendula. because calendula doesn't really need a whole lot of nutrition to grow. So I'm thinking that I'm gonna remove the bags of cow manure from that aisle, and I'm gonna put them in the aisle with the onions. Unless I move, actually, I could just do onions there and calendula here. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave these bags here and leave those bags here. These are gonna be for onions, and then this can be calendula, and this can be calendula. I want a lot of calendula in here for sure. Look how it is looking. I cannot believe this. One row at a time. I had to cover up the straw bales because it's starting to rain, but I'm pretty happy with how much I got done so far. It is starting to rain for sure, but I can go inside, but I could also just stay out here. I'm gonna maybe grab a sweater, and I'm still gonna continue to work. I want to get this done today. I have motivation. I have all of the stuff I need. I'm soaking the seeds. I'm doing the stuff that I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not going to let the rain stop me. Let's open some bags and make some more rows. That's the biggest one I found so far. Wonder what it is. Looks green. Put that one aside. Looks like we have no more bags of manure left to put into the gardens. This post right here is where there's going to be a fruit tree. I planned for 4 fruit trees in the garden. Bill can choose what type. They just need to be dwarf. So this is representing a fruit tree and the location of fruit tree. Over here, it's going to be calendula. So I just needed to smooth off that surface. And with the calendula, I have a different kind of method that I'm going to use for planting the seeds. It's something I haven't tried before, but I've seen all over the place, so I'm gonna do that. And I can talk about that a little bit later too. But for now, we're just prepping the beds so that I can plant the seeds. It stopped raining. It's still raining a tiny bit, but I'm glad I pushed through that. This is starting to really look like something. It is a lot to look at when you stand back. I'm not done, but I'm pretty freaking proud of myself here. What are your thoughts on what I should plant here? So right now, this straw area is going to be pumpkins. And then this straw area is going to be squash. So both of those are going to be able to come onto this area here. So I'm not going to grow anything in this. I'm going to let the squash take over. But I am going to put a tarp over this whole thing, including this area. I'm going to put a tarp there and then a tarp completely on there. But for this little piece, I'm wondering what I should put here. I'm thinking maybe sunflowers would give it some height, and they're not going to be in the way, and I don't really have anything production-wise to put there. So what are your thoughts on sunflowers right here? Put that in the comments and let me know if there's another idea of what you think I should put in here. On the end of this one is going to be watermelon, but I think I'm going to put the watermelon in first, and then I'm going to cover it up with those bales of straw there. That's why that's sitting there. And then, as we talked about, this is calendula, and that's calendula, and those are onions. That is pretty amazing. Look at that. Okay, I haven't done anything in probably like 15 minutes. I'm just staring at this thing. That's a lot. That's a lot. Whew. So I think the best thing for me to do, I finished all the rows in this garden. They're all ready to go and they're all ready to be planted. I am gonna plant this garden, but I'm gonna plant this garden in a different video because I think this video is getting quite long. Thank you for being here and thank you for motivating me through this whole thing. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have done this today. I wouldn't have pushed so hard and I wouldn't have done this today. So I really appreciate you watching the videos. We appreciate your comments, and we're so happy to be able to bring our garden to you in hopes that you'll have a garden too. I think everybody should be able to have a garden. Like last week's video was a 4x4 space in the garden, and I was showing you how to use the best of a 4x4 space. This is a 30 by 50 garden. If you have the ability, the resources, the time, and the love for being outside, I'll say it again, the harvests are starting to be a lot more important. Thank you so much for joining us today on this video and allowing me to show you how we took this garden from grass to something very productive that's going to provide for our family and our friends. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye. Mix that manure into the flower bed, into the bed, into the bed. I just have to mix that manure right up in the bed. Let's go do that now. Do